Well, greetings, Mr. Kolazar's class. We're going to focus now, instead of on acids, on bases. So similar idea with our strong acids and bases, our strong acids, but now with strong bases and their dissociation. So to begin with strong bases, ionize completely. And I'd like you to include the idea that all of our group 1 and group 2 metals with the hydroxide ion attached are strong bases. So like sodium hydroxide, potassium hydroxide, barium hydroxide, calcium hydroxide. Example of this, sodium hydroxide is going to produce all sodium ions and hydroxide ions. So we have the arrow type, the one direction arrow. Our weak bases ionize partially. So an example, we have the double-headed arrow, meaning that we are at equilibrium. So we produce some of the hydroxide and we still have some of our reactant and product left over. So the Kb equal our equilibrium constant for bases ionize that expresses the amount of all substances at equilibrium. So say your products NH4 and OH over your reactants NH3. Remember, we don't include water in our equilibrium constant. So there's no water down there. So strong bases do not have Kb's because as like we go from the sodium hydroxide to our sodium ions and our hydroxide ions, we have no reactant afterwards. So the product over the reactants, we have none of this, so we get no Kb's. Either they're too big, infinite, or we just have an undefined number. Now, in the case of our weak bases, from before we do have Kb's. So if we were to just jump back one slide and we looked, we would have product from up above. Kb would be the concentration of the product over the concentration of the reactant. So we do have a Kb value in this case of our products from up above and our reactants from up above, remembering we leave out the water. So weak bases do have Kb's. Now the ionization bases, the larger the Kb, just like with acids, the stronger the base is, meaning the more OH we're going to produce, because looking the concentration of the OH is what causes the substance to be base or basic. And that will be the end of our section here on comparing strong and weak bases together.